Fiji é um arquipélago de 322 ilhas. Numa época não muito distante, a nação de Fiji sucumbia ao peso da superstição e feitiçaria. Espíritos ancestrais prometiam abundância, mas cobravam o seu preço. As lutas tribais eram terríveis e frequentes. Alimentados pela vingança e ganância, violentos guerreiros exterminavam vilas inteiras e até mesmo ilhas.
From early tribal days, Fijians have been at war with themselves and with others. And in May 2000, trouble flared afresh.
The civil disorders have disrupted our lives like never before. It's to do with the rebellion of what happened in the nation.
Fiji's church had but one place to go, to its knees.
Hoje, Fiji não guarda nenhuma recordação desse seu passado sombrio. Como o avivamento trazido pela unidade do povo de Deus, através das orações, trouxe um rápido crescimento nas igrejas. Famílias inteiras passaram a servir a Cristo e uma genuína transformação sociopolítica começou a acontecer.
This is God's work. It is not human work.
We just stand in awe when we look at what is happening.
Observing Fiji's newfound joy, it is hard to imagine the darkness that gripped the nation just 5 months after the millennial celebrations. The nation assembled for 3 weeks of joint prayer and Bible teaching. At the close of this remarkable gathering, a crowd of nearly 10,000 people assembled in Albert Park to hear from Acting Prime Minister Lysenia Godase. Being a month away from national elections, he could have used the speech to solicit votes. He didn't.
In Christ. The greatest need of all, though, is to put our nation right in the eyes of God. Our efforts towards building this country will come to nothing if they are not rooted firmly in the love and fear of God.
Instead, he used the occasion to humble himself before God and the nation.
So I stand here, stripped of office. I am not, at this moment, a political leader. What you see and what the Lord sees is just a person, someone in need of God's forgiveness. I ask Him to forgive me for the times I have been neglectful and cold in my relationship with Him. With your guidance, this sinner will renew himself, will find new strength and new purpose in the pursuit of your will. Lord, I entreat you again to save me, to capture my heart and take my hand. I honor you as the King of Kings.
I know him personally, so when he stood up that day and made that confession, we were all taken by surprise.
I wouldn't be able to do the job at all without God's help. And I will never forget that evening too. As I stood there, the church ministers, I think there were about 3 or 4 of them, their hands on my shoulders, and they prayed for me. And it was the most significant moment in my life, and I could feel that the Lord was working through me, and without that there is no way I can run the affairs of this country.
It was the prayers that broke through. It was the power of prayer.
That God's hand of grace and protection was heavy upon the nation.
I believe this is God's time to bring about revival in this country.
But in an unscripted moment afterwards, it was evident this grace was being felt in a deeply personal way.
Do you have a sense of God's hand and calling upon your life now as you're leading the nation?
It was an eloquent silence.
That's a very touching one.
The moment I saw him, God spoke to me and said, this is the president, the leader of the nation you've been praying for. I'm placed him here.
Who are born-again Christians.
It's just the finger of God, and it's what the Lord is doing.
With a united church and a government teeming with godly servants, Fiji has begun to recover its spiritual heritage.
A lot of people never wanted to go to church, but I begin to see them. They want to. They ask me, when is the